Hi and welcome. So this is a small video that's going to be part of a larger segment that we're going to be doing in the Academy for Tools of the Trade. And this one is going to be today we're going to be talking all about research, okay? Where to do it, how to organize it. And I hope this is going to be helpful for you, so let's just jump right in. So the first website I want to share with you is Google Scholar, and it's just scholar.google.com. And don't worry about jotting down these links. I'll include them down below the video. But Google Scholar is a great place to come find. You can find peer-reviewed journal articles and research. You can find, doctorate research papers. You can find case law. You can find medical journals. You can find just about anything you're searching for inside of Google Scholar. There are some fantastic resources here, and it is a really good place to come start looking. And I tell you something that I find is really helpful with Google Scholar is for people who write in like crime, mystery, thrillers, anybody who writes in medical, anybody who might need case law or any types of references like that. This is a wonderful resource, a great place to start looking. So that is number one on our list here. So next, and this one is probably one that you are already familiar with, but it's Project Gutenberg. And Project Gutenberg is, basically, it's a library of thousands and thousands of free ebooks, EPUBs, Kindles, a lot of PDFs. There are a huge amount of long out of print books, very historical books here that they have gone through and digitized and put into ebook format that you can access for free in their entirety, which is wonderful. One of the most interesting things that I've personally used Project Gutenberg for is because I write in fantasy, is they have some very old texts on like magical realism and occultism and stuff like that. So if you're building a world, in especially a fantasy world, that's going to, and you're trying to build like a magical system for it, and you want to have some points of reference, Project Gutenberg is absolutely going to be your friend. They've got some incredible old books that have been digitized here and are freely available. And that one is just gutenberg.org. It's Project Gutenberg. The next one, which is kind of similar, is Internet Archive. And this one is just archive.org. Now, the Internet Archive, similar to Gutenberg, right? But they have millions of free books. They've got movies, software, music, references to websites, you name it. And it's not just, ancient text, right? It's not just old stuff. This is all of it. This is modern stuff as well. And this is a good place to start searching if you're not sure where to start searching. This is a fantastic resource because you're going to get a huge spectrum of different sources of information on the topic that you're researching. And like I said, all of it is freely available. And it's, like I said, a great place to start looking. Or if you're looking for something very specific, like if you only want to look for books or only want to look for audio, then you can narrow it down to that as well. And again, so that one is Internet Archive, which is just archive.org. A fantastic place to start your research if you're not sure where to start. Now, another Google one, of course, because Google is like the largest search engine basically on the planet. This one is Google Books, and it's just books.google.com. And this one basically is a huge index of full text books. So you're going to get access to a lot of full text books in their entirety, some in ebook form, some in PDF, some that's going to reference to other sites like Gutenberg or the Internet Archive and places like that. But this is a great place to come looking. If you really feel like you need additional research on something, if you feel like there's more out there that you haven't found yet, Google Books is a great place to come verify that, and you probably are going to find a lot more than what you found just through normal searching. Now, pre-warning here, I am absolutely probably butchering this name, and I apologize in advance. Europeana Collections. Europeana Collections, which is just europeana.eu. And this is probably one of my favorite sites for research. It has artwork, photographs, books, artifacts, films, music, pretty much anything you can imagine that would be in a museum or gallery or library throughout Europe, you're going to be able to find here because they've digitized it, made it available to us all online. And this is a fantastic place. What I've used this for personally is for reference. A lot of like archaeology or even architectural reference or artwork reference for some of my writing. And if you're looking for, old castles or, that sort of thing, this is a wonderful resource because you're getting to go to the source. If you're creating some special artifact in your story and you want to base it off of, I don't know, ancient Viking artifacts, you can find those kinds of things here as a point of reference to start from. So a great and really fun collection of stuff here. And again, that one is just Europeana.eu. And again, I apologize for butchering the name. Okay, so the next one I'm sure everybody has heard of. This is the Library of Congress, their digital collections, which is, it's kind of like finding one of those, you imagine finding a treasure chest in an old attic covered in dust somewhere, right? And just amazed by the things that are in it. This is the Library of Congress digital collections because you never know what you're going to stumble on here. They include everything from like blueprints and engineering drawings from old historic buildings and cities and old maps and old photographs, old art, old newspaper clippings from big historical events. I mean, you name it, you can probably find it here. It's an incredible resource of information here, and probably one of my absolute favorite places to come start doing research, other than Gutenberg, because you never know what you're going to stumble across. And there are times when I come here and just kind of start jumping down the rabbit hole, basically, and finding all kinds of really neat things here. So this one is just the Library of Congress, which is loc.gov/collections. So highly recommend this one. Now, this next one is for those of us who, yeah, we're modern and we're techie, but we really kind of like, getting our hands dirty and maybe going to a physical library to do research, right? Because who doesn't feel like Gandalf in the library when we're doing that? I mean, really, come on. So this one is worldcat.org. And what worldcat.org will do for you is you can search on a topic. You can search for books or authors or articles or whatever your thing is that you're looking for. And it's going to show you if any of those things, any of those books, DVDs, CDs, audios, articles, whatever, are available in a library near you. So that you can then go to your local library and, research to your heart's content. This one is I love this one. Unfortunately, where I'm at in West Virginia, some of the very small libraries here are not part of this yet. But I'm hoping it's continuing to grow and that my little tiny West Virginia libraries will eventually be part of this. But yes, so there are, I think, over 10,000 libraries worldwide included. So it's worth a look to see if some of your local libraries are included here, because this can be a great resource if you really want to go to your local library and see what you can find there. It'll save you some time because you'll know beforehand what you're going to be able to find when you get there. And that one is just worldcat.org. Now, those are a lot of resources for doing research and finding things and searching for your topics. But I want to talk just real briefly about some of the tools you can use to handle all that research after you've got it, right? What do you do with it now that you've got it? And there's a few things that you can do. One of my favorite pieces of software that I use to help organize my research is called Scapple. And it's created by Literature and Latte. And you may recognize that name because that's the same folks who create Scrivener. So I love this little piece of software. In fact, I use it not only for my research, but I also use it when I get stuck and I have to kind of mind map like plotting issues and that sort of thing. It's really excellent software. It's very unintrusive, doesn't take up a lot of resources, and it's very easy to use. There's like very little learning curve on it. Which is one of the things that most people complain about with Scrivener, right? So this one is super easy to use. And even better, it's got the downloadable free trial, just like Scrivener, and it's only $18 US. So it's very inexpensive software, and it's something that you will use again and again if you do any type of mind mapping or like to plot out things and be able to drag them around and reorder things and plot that way. If you're a visual plotter, you're going to love this software basically. So this is one I definitely recommend. And it's really easy to, like I said, it's easy to use and easy to get started with. Now, another thing, a lot of people also will like to use Evernote. Another one that people like to use is OneNote if you're a Microsoft user. And for those of you who really use Google Docs for all of your writing and author biz, one of the things that I recommend is like if you go and find, for example, websites that you want to save and you like to, and what you've been doing so far is like printing them, you can actually print them to a PDF and then save them over to your Google Drive. So that's an option for you Google users as well. Now, one of the things that I like to do to keep websites handy for, referring back to when I'm doing research is on my bookmark bar here. You notice I've got a huge bookmark bar with tons and tons and tons of links. But I actually create a folder called Book Research. And then whenever I come across a site, like let's say, for example, this is a site that I was researching, getting research information from, I will just take that website and drag it down here to my book research folder and drop it in. And then you can see, there it is right there. So I can get back to it at any time. And I will do this for different books that I'm researching. Once I'm done with it, if I don't need that website anymore, I just go in and delete the link. So to do that, you would just go into it, do a right mouse click, say delete, and you can see it's gone. But that's a super easy way to kind of manage and organize all the different websites you may have research information from as well. So that being said, that is a whole lot of tools to help get you started in your research adventures. I hope this was helpful, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.